Good afternoon, everyone. So back again with some more Final Fantasy XIV, continuing on with the story today. So yeah, let's crack on. Kind of, I think about halfway through the story now. I fear this discussion may take a while, during which time... Metion, are you feeling unwell? It's not me, Hermes, it's you. I won't go to the meeting. I'll stay with Lullaby. Loath though I am to impose, may I leave Metion in your care again? I'm in your debt, if you'll excuse me. Right. Can you help me with something, Lullaby? The meeting will make Hermes sad. I want to cheer him up with a flower. Hermes likes flowers the most of all the creations in Elpis. Most creations are expected to be interesting or beautiful or strong, better in some way. But flowers are different. They're designed to suit our emotions, what we feel and want to convey. Hermes likes that. I can't make flowers, so I'll search for one. I want you to search with me. Let's start here at the 12 Wonders. Okay, let's go find a flower. What have we got here? Vibrant purple flowers bigger than your hands adorn the tree. Oh, so big and bright. I love them. But they might be too bright. We have to think of the recipient. That's what Hermes said. Okay, too bright for Hermes. Let's find something else then. A tall, slender tree rises before you. You crane your neck to look for flowers. No flowers. If there were apples, we could have covered them in syrup. Let's head outside next. Don't worry, we won't wander far. Toffee apples. That sounds delicious. Oh, there we go, over here. An array of beautiful flowers grow in the bed, their mix of colours forming a pattern. These would be better for Hermes, but they're hedged in. That means we shouldn't touch them. They're either under observation or poisonous. Any other place should be fine though. Let's keep looking. Oh, I thought that was the last... Oh no, there's somewhere else. Over here. Where is it? Oh, here you go. Set on a tall, thin stalk, the oddly shaped flower is mesmerising in its undulations. Oh, well, what? A conian? A flower that can move. When Hermes wasn't looking, it shot seeds at him. Not a good gift, maybe. But you're good, Lullaby, at spotting flowers. We'll find something soon. Oh, here we go. It's just like part of the path. Surely there's not going to be flowers in the path. You spy nothing promising nearby. At best, common-looking grasses with some few tiny flowers. Hello, Timothy. How are you doing? Nothing around here. Over there, Lullaby. Something big. Huge. What's she spotted? Where is it? I don't see anything. Standing right on top of it. Where is it? I don't see anything. You haven't seen a good stream for a long time. I haven't been streaming very much regularly. I did stream last week. Last weekend. Where is this? I cannot see it. But apparently I'm standing right on top of it. Maybe this way? Where is it? Oh, there's an ether current over there. Let me get that first. Right. Where is it? I cannot see it. Is it like up in a tree or something, maybe? Looking at the ground, maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. No. Do not see it. Oh, it's right there. It's right there next to oh, I thought that was just like a normal monster, but it's not. It's actually what I'm looking for. Here we go. Melodious grass. A terrible stench reminiscent of sodden old boots pervades the air. Without a doubt, the culprit is the marble-like creature before you. Surely this is not a good gift for someone. It's an Adonis. The things around its mouth look like petals, but the flowers are the orbs on its head. When Hermes inspected it, it swallowed him up. He didn't leave his room for days. What do you think, Lullaby? Would he like it? I don't think so. Yeah, it's probably not the good sort of memory. So not this one either. No, not this one either. Finding a good flower, it's harder than I thought. Well, look, what about all these ones in the grass? They all look really pretty. Why can we not just give him one of those? I'm sorry, Lullaby, but could we search a little more? Maybe as far as the fields over there. I'll pick something after that, I promise. Okay. Don't want to get too close to these hypocrites. Right. Where's the next flower? It seems to be right where all the hippogriffs are. Oh, there it is. Lush fields. Oh. I think we're just going to have to kill it. It's in the way. There we go. Lush green fields stretch out before you, ending where the sky begins. Oh, there's nothing. What? The grass is full of flowers. What are you talking about? The shiny thing over there, what could it be? It is a, what? Shiny object, okay. Let's check this out then. Oh, these are pretty. Oh, Elpis flowers. They're here too. Hermes likes and dislikes them at the same time. Like me, they're I've forgotten how you pronounce it. Enteliches. Like me, they feel his pain and turn dark. That's only for Hermes, though. For others, they're always white and bright. Truly, the flower was dark in your home? Then do you have it too, a dark emotion? I've known the pain of sorrow and loss. I see. Hermes has known the same, the feeling that a part of you is gone, again and again, but no one notices. Please, Lullaby, won't you lend it to me, your pain and sorrow? I want you to make the flower dark in front of Hermes. He has been in a dark place since before he created me. He needs to know that he isn't there alone, that others are sad too. Truly, you'll do it? Thank you, Lullaby, thank you. It means more to me than I can say. I can't wait to see how Hermes reacts. Let's go back and fetch him. I don't know, it's all a bit too depressing if you ask me. I suppose it is the end of the world after all. It seems they're still talking. Let's wait until they're finished.
Hermes!
Oh, you were waiting for me.
Indeed we were.
You've finished talking?
Yes, we've come to a decision. My thanks for keeping Meteon company. Salk and Hythlodaeus have already retired to their rooms. There is room for you too, if you would follow me.
Wait! I want to show you something first.
Elpis flowers?
Go on. You're not the only one, Hermes. Others feel sad too. You're not alone.
I see Meteon has shared much with you. May we talk a moment?
That's such a cute little hedgehog.
I do not think it wrong that we live for the star, that we strive to make it a better place. And yet, in carrying out my duties here, there are times when I am plagued by doubt.
What is the weather like, Timothy? Do you mean where I live? Or in the game? Where I live, it's actually a sunny day today. It's quite nice. Freezing cold, though.
Do you recall what Hythlodaeus said when we first spoke of my nomination? Death is the privilege of those who have fulfilled their purpose, a choice they embrace of their own free will, and when they depart, it is always beautiful. Perhaps it is, but only for man. Creations that he deems useless are discarded with nary a second thought. Some scarcely born into the world, afforded a handful of breaths before life and potential are abruptly extinguished. We make an effort to spare them the pain, but they sense what awaits. Rage and anguish and cower and fear, and it is not beautiful. Yet no one cares. No one. So fixated are we upon the duty that we do not pause to question the method. Pain and suffering, confusion and despair, writ plain in the eyes of those poor creatures. Yet no one sees. We turn a blind eye and carry on in blissful ignorance. Not amiss. And always, always the blossoms shine pure and white. A contradiction so blatant I could scream, want to scream. How can you all accept this aberration? Then I wonder, am I the aberration for thinking thus? And I am filled with dread. But now I know I'm not alone. Not the only one for whom the flowers weep. Owen asked what you thought as you kneeled beside the Elpis, or if you only did it at Meteon's insistence. Nevertheless, I thank you. To know that you too have experienced suffering is a comfort.
Yeah, let's have no more brooding, eh?
Indeed. Difficult though it may be, I must endeavor to be strong like you.
Yep, chin up. Come on, let's go on with it. Got work to do. Can't be moping around all day.
Know you what they are? Though it is too far to tell, each glittering light could be a world not unlike Aetheris. A world filled with life. So many stars, so many lives. For us, there may be no higher purpose than to live for our world. But what of the other living beings out there? What is it that gives their lives meaning? That drives them day after day after day? To pose that question to our undiscovered cousins, I created beings of Dynamis, who can traverse the vast emptiness between the stars. Meteon and her sisters. Aye, sisters. She has a great many of them, and they have already departed on their journey, traveling to one star and then the next in search of life. As one might expect, exploration on such a grand scale is rife with difficulties, and thus far I've naught to show for it. But I have faith that we will make some manner of discovery ere long. And when we do, I should be glad to share our findings with you, in gratitude for your kindness. It's getting rather late. We had best find our beds. It would not do for both of us to be sleep-deprived on the morrow. Come, Meteon. Let us head back.
She's so cute. An all too brief interlude, perhaps, but it is time I attend my next task. As MSQ and Hythlodaeus are aware, we reached a verdict regarding the fate of Ikiano. I have no idea how you pronounce that. Oh, it's Lycaons? I don't know. 7 were created for observation, and all 7 must be unmade. Doros has followed the correct protocols, and as Chief Overseer I can find no fault in his judgment. They would disrupt the natural order, ravaging and consuming other species until they themselves starve and perish. They cannot be released into the wild, and they cannot be allowed to remain here in Elpis. I intend to petition the Bureau of the Architect to have the concept preserved as a restricted purpose, hazardous life form. Hythlodaeus has pledged to support me in this endeavour. Yet whatever the Bureau, I can't even read anything now. The Bureau decides the existing, Lycaons have served their purpose. Doros has already isolated the creatures and is preparing to carry out the necessary measures. I would join him forthwith. 'Tis my duty to witness the conclusion to this study. If you are resolved, then we have but to accompany you. So what about them makes them abominations? What exactly did they create? Of course, let us be off then. We return to the main aisle. How far away is this? So I only just arrived in this zone, so I haven't unlocked flying yet, so still grounded. Oh, here we go. Doros, are you hurt? What happened here? They caught me off guard. I had them bound with ethereal shackles, but they became frenzied, even more so than usual, and broke free. Oh, it's these things. Yeah, they do look kind of scary. I was able to stop 4, the other 3 escaped. They look a little bit like a red version of the Fenrir. I see them. 2 have taken to the air above the 12 Wonders. The last is up ahead, lurking in the fields. You and Lullaby handle that one. The pair in the sky you can leave to me. If this is how it must end, then so be it. I will render assistance to MSQ, and unneeded though it is. Etion, you would stay here with Doros. But Hermes! They must be reverted. I would spare you their pain, and mine. This is my burden, not yours, but if you are intent on helping, then please follow my lead. I appreciate your help, and lament that it is necessary. There it is, our quarry, within striking distance at present, but if it feels threatened, it may well flee beyond our reach. Here is my plan. You will approach slowly, in full view, and draw its attention. Now, I warn you, its abilities are as fiery as its temperament. Once it spots you, it will unleash orbs of flame. But fear not, by my measure, you are more than equal to the task. Oh, thank you. Withstand the onslaught for a few brief moments, and that will give me time to catch it unawares. Ready? Then let us begin. Oh, two more. What? Don't see where it is. I don't think anybody else sees it either. Maybe it's just lag. Oh, here we go. They're standing on it. There's the destination. That would make a really cool mount.
Now. Oh. Forgive me. Please, forgive me. May you and your kin find peace. Wherever your souls may drift in the underworld, may you find tranquil seas. Be not forgotten, in concept endure, to reclaim form and one day live again. Serve not the star, or any purpose save your own. Live again, if that be your desire. Hate, if that be your want. We are worthy, but leave your suffering behind. Lay down your burdens, be born anew. Fly high, fly free.
Join the convocation, Hermes. You do not belong here.
Leave to replace another. To be replaced. It changes nothing. Tell me, do you think it right that we sacrifice all these lives for the sake of the star? And when the star has reached perfection, what then? If all who are satisfied choose to die, shall we all die in satisfaction? I do not know. Were I to take up the seat of Fandaniel, it would be tantamount to approving my predecessor's death. I do not know if it is right. And to be torn by such thoughts, I do not know if I am fit to represent mankind.
Hermes! Please don't be angry. It hurts so.
Oh, hey, Quantum. Yeah,
Forgive
you're
me.
probably right. It's probably going to be full of spoilers for you.
If you would still consider me in spite of everything, I beg some time to gather my thoughts. Meanwhile, Hythlodaeus, I fear I must trouble you to attend to the others.
'Tis no trouble at all. Take as long as you require.
And you, my friend. I pray
Hey,
you
Night
find
Archer,
that
how are
which
you
seek.
doing? Height difference? What, between the little girl and the adult? I think it's just
I
because
expect
she's a
we
child.
have some few matters to discuss. Shall we
But
return
I'm really
to the
good,
12
thank you, Night Archer. It's
wonders
really
for a time?
lovely to see you. I haven't seen you for such a long time.
Aye.
The others have been taken care of. The incident is resolved and life in Elpis continues as normal. Or ends, as the case may be. He's rather nonchalant about the whole thing, isn't he? You just got back from work? You've had a long day? Let's see, what time is it? Oh, nice. That's nice and early. So you've got the whole evening and the rest of the afternoon to chill out. What are your plans for the rest of the day? Got anything nice? You got the weekend off? Are you doing anything nice over the weekend? Rationally speaking, I understand Hermes' argument. No matter how well deserved the rest, there is a pang of sadness when a colleague leaves us. Yet never has a departure caused me such grief as Hermes appears to feel. What must it be like to experience such torment? What's this? Oh, I'll put that on later. Can't use glamours here, so I'm not really needing it right now anyway. You got to work tomorrow morning? Oh, at least that's not too bad. If you've got your Sunday off then and the rest of the day tomorrow. Where to now? If there is anywhere you would like to visit before we leave, I should be glad to show you the way. Hermes has not yet outright refused his position with the convocation, merely postponed the decision. As such, I may as well resume my assessment. If we cannot accompany him, then I will content myself with questioning his colleagues. Ever the pragmatist? Then allow me to remain your humble guide. And what of you, Lullaby? Will you continue along with us? Wonderful. Our fellowship travels on unbroken. I say we explore another part of Elpis and see what new encounters there are to be had. If you would follow me, we will first head back towards... what's that? Norisis. Norisis. I have no clue. Until I hear them actually say these words in the cutscenes, I have no idea how to pronounce them. Right, how far? Oh, not far. I haven't really been on Twitch much for quite a while. Are you still streaming, Night Archer? I haven't. If you have, I haven't got any notifications come up of you streaming. So this must be time travel. Spoilers, Quantum. I'm not telling you. How have your queues been over on Phoenix? Have they kind of sorted themselves out yet, or are they still really bad? I had to play Q Savage to get on this morning. I woke up at 4 AM. I couldn't sleep. So I thought I'll just log on. I'll play a bit final. And it took me nearly an hour to log on. Normally, because I normally play during, normal UK hours, I don't have a problem logging on. It's normally fine. But at that time, it was like still kind of a busy time. The US, so yeah, there was like 2,000 in the queue. You can't play at all. You haven't played all week, and they still not allowing any transfers at all. From here, we follow the path northwards to Nottingham. I don't know how to pronounce these names. There we will find one of the teleporters, which facilitate travel between the islands of Elpis. First-time travellers must be accompanied by someone with the requisite permission, which I have previously been granted. We only need to use the device together once, and henceforth you will have leave to use it freely. Shall we? You're going to log in early tomorrow. Yeah, it's a shame you get automatically kicked, otherwise I would say just log in and never log out, but it doesn't work anymore. I wonder if people that play on a PC, if they could get, install a auto clicker, and whether that would stop you from being kicked out. Here we are. Nautilus. The teleporter will take us to Kalimelios, Zephyros, the western island. That's it right there, looming large over us. Ah, okay, that big rock, I guess. Step this way and we can soon admire the view from above. You were thinking of trying that? Yeah, you should definitely try it, see if it works. Then get your account suspended for botting. I don't know if they would count that as a bot or not, but I guess it is some kind of outside
I present
program.
To you Kalimelios Zephyros. Here you will find a number of testing facilities, as well as the observation hub of Poiton Oikos.
This zone is very beautiful.
Right then. Let's begin by...
So everything seems to be, all the places in the game seem to be based on other countries, so I'm getting a Greek feeling from here with the names.
Well, well, an Arrhaeus. How delightful.
Oh, so cute. They look exactly as they do in the normal world.
And what, pray tell, is that?
Ah, that's a new species of shark.
Shark?
We approved the concept but a few days ago. Sharks
It's
are
not like
among
any shark
the
I've
most
ever
popular sea
seen.
creatures. Rare is the day when someone does not submit a new concept. At first, they were largely orthodox, consideration given to such things as size and environmental
A
impact.
shark with
And
legs.
then a whimsical someone thought to bestow it with flight, another superior intelligence. And then the floodgates
That one's
burst.
definitely a daddy
Concepts
shark.
with multiple heads, or arms, or legs, or arms
Don't worry, I'm
and
not gonna
legs,
start singing.
and so on and so forth. It was getting absurd. A part of me wanted to tell them to go away and find something else to create, but in the end, I couldn't deny their passion. Here we are.
He looks angry. An angry shark. That was a dizzy shark.
That was too close.
I
Are you unharmed?
can't believe she's here.
Well now, if it isn't a pair of familiar faces.
Banar, that we should meet you here.
As I mentioned earlier, the better part of the convocation holds that when we retire is when we return to the star. Well, she is not among said majority. Even after stepping down, she carries on with her work. Vanar is her name, and she is the previous Azem.
You've no idea what's going on. Well, that's good, Quantum, because then it will still be a surprise when you get to it yourself.
It has been a while, Hythlodaeus. You look well. Less so, Emmet Selk. I dare say the lines upon your brow have both deepened and doubled in number. A shame for one so young. You must make an effort to frown less often.
Easier said than done, thanks to your unruly successor.
How is she, if I may ask?
Incorrigible as ever. Rushed headlong into a volcano on the brink of eruption just the other day. I should be glad to share the tale in its entirety later, if you're so inclined.
Why does he look so evil? Which one, Night Archer?
Oh, you know I am. Now then, you are?
Emmet Selk. Oh, well, I think he's meant to be evil. Although perhaps not quite yet.
I say, have you perchance come from the future?
How does she know?
I do not believe we have ever met, yet I sense my magic upon you. Therefore, if I wove the enchantment, I could only have done so at a later point in time.
What manner of magic is this, if I may ask?
A traveler's ward, of course. It prevents the corruption of one's ether.
That sounds rather like the blessing of light.
I see you are not ignorant to its presence. And while there are many protective spells, the one you bear is unmistakably mine.
Hold on. From the future? That's absurd.
What is it? Are you unable to speak of the matter?
The reality to which you must return exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
Yep, rule number 1 of time travel, never talk about the future. That's right, Archer.
So, your actions here will not change your history, but they may yet affect the course of ours. How very exciting. I'm quite fond of delving into the unknown, and there's naught more unknown than the future. Until a moment finally arrives, we cannot know for certain what will come to pass, regardless of our supposed foreknowledge, so you needn't worry for us. More importantly, that you should go to such great lengths as to travel unto the past bespeaks the gravity of your quest. Will you not reveal it to us? Mayhap we can be of aid to your cause.
Oh my goodness, it's like Warrior of Light tells them about it in the first place, and it all starts because of that. I tell you the lottery numbers for next week. I wish I knew them, Quantum.
As a representative of the Convocation, I will hear it all. Your identity, purpose, everything.
Why don't we move to a place more conducive to calm conversation? I've been working here for some days now at an old friend's behest. If it is agreeable, we may make use of my accommodation at Poiton Oikos.
Isn't there a yogurt called Oikos? I'm pretty sure.
We were meant to meet. I am certain of it. Else I wouldn't have marked you so clearly, and sent you unto myself in the past. It's precisely the sort of mischief I would get up to, and quite inspired, if I do say so myself.
My apologies, but before we move along, a colleague has tasked me with a matter which I'd rather not leave unresolved. You've all seen Back to the Future 2 when Biff gets the betting book. Yeah, that's right, Naja. It involves finding a certain concept engraved crystal and the quick-fingered Aureus which made off with it. An Aureus, you say? I think we might have seen the culprit before being distracted by that business with the shark. Would you like us to follow its ethereal trail? That would, of course, lead us only to the Aureus. There is no guarantee that it hasn't dropped or stashed away the crystal you seek. Please, even that much would be enormously helpful. While you are hunting down the thief, I can follow behind and scour the forest floor just in case. Can I ask to join the search? I would appreciate another pair of eyes to cover the land to the west of here. Many thanks. There's a small bridge leading into Poiton Oikos. Let us meet up there once we've exhausted our efforts. That looks kind of scary. That would make a really good mount, though. Some of these monsters in the new areas would make amazing mounts. Can I get up here? Oh, here we go. Why is that? Why is that red? Oh, it's level 87 and I'm only level 86. That'll be why. Might have to do a roulette or something. Is there a monster trainer class? I wish they had Beastmaster class. When I played Final Fantasy XI, Beastmaster was my favourite job in the whole game. I loved Beastmaster. Sadly, there is nothing like that yet. That you have Summoner, which is probably the closest that you could get to. Okay, I can't do this on this job. I could switch to Red Mage, but I really want the XP on this job from the quest, so I don't know, maybe almost I could do some fates maybe. That probably wouldn't take long to get that. It's not that much to get my next level. Only problem is I don't have flying. Oh, we've got that one. Let's go and do a few fates. Maybe. Or I could go and do Shadowbringer's Beast Tribes. That might get me just enough to get that level. We've got some big purple dudes. Known unknown. Oh, this is a level 87 fate. Right, let's get a Chocobo out. Doesn't seem to be any... Oh, there is someone else doing this fate. Okay. Because otherwise these things can go rather slowly when you're on a healer class. Reduce the XP on the older beast. No, what's happened, Quantum, is that, yeah, they have reduced the XP by a ton, but they've also reduced how much XP you need to get your next level by loads. So if you go on a percentage based, I think you're actually probably getting a higher percentage of your level for doing them than you previously were. but the actual quantity of XP is much smaller because the quantity of XP to your next level is smaller. Because I mean, you used to get 2 million. 2 million per Shadowbringer Beast Tribe, and now it's only about 200 or 300k. It's like loads smaller, but your levels were something like, I don't know, 30 odd million, and they're not anywhere near that much now for Shadowbringer levels. Where is it? Is it that thing up there? Oh, oh my goodness! It just spawned right on top of me. That scared the life out of me. I hate the fact that you have to sheathe your weapons before you can cast on someone else. I'm sure that's something to do with my settings, but I don't know how to fix that. It makes it awkward when you want to cast on people who are not in your party. Yeah, I remember Jasix was saying something about, oh, I'm sure they've reduced the XP, but it's... I think you're actually getting more, a higher percentage of your level for it, if that makes sense. But yeah, the XP is actually a lower number. I mean, I felt like when I was doing dungeons, doing one dungeon was getting me closer to a level than previously, I think. They did say that it was going to be easier to XP, didn't they? Hello, how are you doing, Fury? Oh, was not expecting donut AoE in a bait. I think I'm going to need to do a few of those to get my next level. Maybe I should just do a roulette or something. I think I don't have flying here. Alright, I'm going to go do Pixie Beast Stripes and see if that will get me my level. And then I'll come back here. Continue on with MSQ. I don't know whether it will get me our level, to be honest. Now I'm 86. It's probably not going to be that much XP from Beast Tribes, from Shadowbringer Zones. I'm really good, thank you. Really enjoying the new expansion. I don't know how long we'll have to wait before they bring out Beast Tribes in the new areas. At least these are really quick, so even if it doesn't get me all the way, it's not really any time wasted. Oh, hey Chrissy, how are you doing? I'm really good, thank you. Oh no, it's one of these. Have to fly to Porksea. Now I don't know which one it is. So it's... okay, those two. Yeah, how have you been, Chrissy? Are you still streaming? I haven't really been on Twitch very much for a few months. Zoom out of it. Fine, that's one. Yeah, it has been a while. I think the last time I spoke to you on Discord, didn't I? About that, I forgot what the name of the game was, but that game that was like a farming MMO, like a Harvest Moon type MMO. Palia, that's it. Yeah, yeah, that looks really good. I'm definitely going to be playing that once that comes to console. Right, that's the Hawksy one's done, I think. Yeah, I love like Harvest Moon type games, and being able to play a game like that with a good story and also having your friends be able to join in, like MMO style, will be really cool. Where is it? I can't see it. Oh, here we go. A sleepy pixie. We're getting farming in this as well. We are, but we don't know what it's going to be like yet. So whether it's going to be like everyone's hoping for something like Harvest Moon, but we'll have to see, won't we? I'm not sure which patch it's scheduled to come out. Do I still crochet? Yes, I still crochet. I posted a YouTube video probably a couple of months ago, or a month ago, 2 months ago. I'm not sure. I've got another one hopefully coming out soon. A Christmassy pattern. Something very quick and easy. I haven't really had that much time. I don't know if it's that I've not had that much time. It's that I've been too busy playing this, so I haven't really been spending that much time crocheting. Although I have been making a blanket for my brother and his wife had a new baby, so I've been making a blanket for them, and I will be making a tutorial for the pattern for that, and that's going to have a matching hat eventually when I get around to finishing it. So I should really find time for some crochet streams, because I haven't done one of those for a long time. Oh, we have monsters. Chrissy, did you ever play this? Have you ever played this? I'm sure I probably asked you before. I'm sure you would love this. Oh, you play with your boyfriend? Yeah, I think I have asked you before. Right, let's see if this is enough to get my next level. Kind of, I don't really like to do anything that involves queue times while I'm streaming. I suppose I could even have done one of the dungeons with trusts or something, couldn't I? That would have got plenty of XP. Let's see, how much do I get for this? Oh yeah, 3 of those. 2 more, that should get it. And then we can Get back to MSQ. There we go, level 87. I think I might have to catch up another job as well, because I've got 2 jobs that I'm going through with MSQ, because I don't want to waste all that XP you get from MSQ. The XP is so good. Right, where do I need to go now? Back to oh look, unattuned. That's sensible. Should have picked that up before I came in, shouldn't I? Never mind. Yeah, the storyline for Shadowbringers was awesome. But I've really loved this expansion so far, the way they've just brought everyone back. All the characters are, you know, all the old favourites are make an appearance. The only person I've not seen is my favourite, my ghost boyfriend Ardbert, which I'm really upset about. They should have brought him back somehow. They have to. You can't have Final Fantasy XIV without Ardbert. You're still catching up on the story? Yeah, that's what Quantum was saying, but he's still here. I think I'm probably about halfway through. Some people have finished already. We had the first member of our free company got the Endwalker rank this morning. Right, I'm going to pick up that aetherite before I do anything else. Teleports are so expensive now. Some of them like 1.5k. That's like crazy money if you keep teleport. I mean, I just teleport. I never walk or fly anywhere really. I always teleport everywhere. And I will go backwards and forwards, especially if I'm like doing gathering or crafting and stuff like that. You end up going to loads of different places. It's going to cost a fortune. I just want to street part. Oh, there it is. Our last search returns. I'm afraid the Ures is no longer had the crystal, nor was I able to find it as I followed in its wake. I don't suppose you fared any better? There you go. One crystal. The crystal. Well done. Wonderful. Now I can focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging on my mind. Nagging at my mind. Have you always had a knack for finding things? Well, I've often been asked to do so. Yeah, a bit more often than I would like, actually. Oh, you too. Some of us seem destined to be always searching for ourselves and for others. Long ago, when I held the seat of Azem, I was forever trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor. Yet I am still eager to come running should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. You did create a character on Goblin? Well, you didn't tell anyone. You should have said, and I could have invited you to the free company, and then you could at least like say hi. I don't know, if I create new characters, which I have done, I generally, because I've already done the story, I generally get a level skip, because that's what I did when I went back to my Phoenix character. Seeing as I'd already played through the whole of the story, I just got a level skip. That is what brings me to Elpis, in fact. Many times has my presence been requested, my opinion sought concerning the habitat of this or that creation. I think that's what Lou did as well. I think he got his while they were on sale, because they were half price, weren't they, for a while? Or too tight to buy one. Agreeing to help locate that missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is the way one thing leads to another, wouldn't you agree? Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, it's time I return this stolen property. If you would go on ahead to my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended to that task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top of the slope. I have the entire place to myself, so we can speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard. Welcome to my temporary abode. Please make yourself at home while I put on some tea. Earl Grey, I hope.
A wonderful aroma. I feel more relaxed already.
Would that I had sweetmeats to offer, but I travel light out of habit. There's plenty of hot water though, so please have as much tea as you like. Now then, will you tell us your tale?
I'm not allowed to tell you. Like, it could change the future. A calamity called the Final Days has befallen the world. And it's all your fault. You started it all. I don't know, did they?
Why don't you start from the beginning?
This feels like it's now Warrior of Light's fault that everything that happened with the Ascians throughout the entire story is now Warrior of Light's fault for telling them this in the first place. You done that by breaking the first rule of time travel. I didn't have much choice, my Archer. There were like 3 options and they were all breaking the first rule. This is the music from Coils. It always reminds me of the music from Phantom of the Opera. I don't know why.
Utterly preposterous.
While not the words I would have chosen, I too have my doubts. Much of it borders on the incredulous. What of you, Vanar?
Not knowing the precise details of the fast final days, it is difficult to determine the veracity of the tale. Supposing it is all true, I must ask myself why I would do what I did. Why would I feel I had no recourse but to oppose the 14 and create this Heidelin? Circumstances change, of course, but it would not have been an easy decision regardless. No, there must have been a reason. One compelling enough to force me to take such drastic measures. Then there is the Elpis flower, which I said would serve as a guide. That it's of import to your mission is plain, but your presence here leads me to believe that this place also holds significance. But what could it be? What are we meant to accomplish?
Might it not be simply thus? In the future, whence she came, the final days could not be averted. Mankind has no choice but to flee the star. By alerting us to that eventuality, perhaps you wish to pave the way for other futures.
Theoretically speaking, it is a possibility. Yet if that were my primary objective, I see no reason to guide our friend to Elpis specifically. The capital and Amarot, or even my own home would be more logical destinations.
True, true. I note also that Heidelin did not specify a point in time to which she must return. By this, it may be inferred that it was not critical that we should meet.
Alternately, she had reason to believe that our paths would converge, coincidental though it may seem.
This is quite a puzzle, and we do not have all the pieces.
I don't get exactly where in time this is meant to be, because during Shadowbringers, Salk, well, the story was of the world being separated into lots of worlds and then wanting to bring them back together again. So is this like before that, before the worlds were separated? I don't really know where we are in the timeline.
Hardly any. But we do have one immutable fact. If the final days are indeed as described, they will bring death to all that I hold dear. Yet despite being afforded long years of preparation, the only provisions I could make were for flight. Nay, my first and foremost endeavor would be to find a way to forestall the coming doom.
Given that even the 14 failed, mayhap you deemed it impossible.
Nothing is impossible. This I have always believed. And if Heidelin is indeed me, she would believe the same.
Listen to yourself. Are you seriously entertaining the notion that you are a messianic figure in some far-fetched tale? Well, I will not. I refuse to accept that our world could be undone by some unforeseen calamity. I also take offense to my portrayal as a megalomaniacal madman. To sacrifice oneself for the star is a noble act, and I would hold those who gave themselves to this zodiac in the highest esteem. Yet, you claim I recreated Amarot and populated it with phantoms of our people? A bizarre indulgence that would be insulting to their memory. Worse still, I even invited you there. Literally invited my own downfall. Why would I do something so idiotic and inexplicable?
It's a good question.
Now, I will allow that the hypothetical task of restoring our world would be daunting in the extreme.
I don't know, it just seemed to happen in
Quantum.
Quantum.
To bear such a burden for 1,000 lives horrifies me. But I would never forsake my duty. I would never forsake my brethren. You do not know me. I've had my fill of your fiction. I will return to my duty, and you will not bother me again.
Selk, wait!
You've seen much of Elpis already. If you have any observations to share, I should like to hear them.
I don't know, maybe Dynamis has something to do with it. But apparently I did, yeah, Night. Apparently I told him everything.
Ah, yes.
Sang like a bird.
The energy distinct from ether. Though not my field, I have a basic understanding of Dynamis. And you say Hermes researched the phenomenon in the course of creating Meteon? Yes. I believe this warrants further investigation. With that settled, it is time for action. The missing pieces of the puzzle are here, I'm certain of it. And when you find them, the picture my future self has painted will be complete, and you will have your answer. Now suffice it to say, I will aid you in your quest. Have faith. If Selk is the man Azum described to me, we've not seen the last of him.
I don't know. I don't think they can change the whole story. I think it's always ends up a case of, in these time travel things, that things always end up as they were, pretty much. And before I came here, the guy says you cannot change history. So whether he meant like you shouldn't, or whether you actually can't, I'm not sure. I was told that I wouldn't be able to change history, or I shouldn't, I don't know. I'm acquainted with Hermes, but of course the only as a visitor received by the chief overseer of Elpis. One of the man himself, I know only that which is common knowledge. Thus I suggest we fall back on the tried and true method of conversing with the locals. Okay, let's do that then, shall we? See the woman standing in front of yonder building? Her name is Mina. She is the one who made arrangements for my stay in Elpis, and from what I recall, she has held her position here for quite some time. Chances are she can provide us with some insights. Go and ask your questions. Okay. Oh, there she is. Questions for me? Well, I suppose I have no other pressing duties at the moment. The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. I'm guessing this might take some time. Greetings, Ismena. My friend here is desperately curious about Chief Hermes, and I was wondering if you might indulge her. Certainly, Mistress Fanat, anything to be of service. What do you wish to know? I don't know. Why are you wanting to know stuff about Hermes? Well, I can only answer from my own experience, but I would describe him as a quiet man, reserved, you might say. and occasionally somewhat poor with his choice of words. His reticent nature, however, does not prevent him from carrying out his duties as Chief Overseer. The man is a walking archive when it comes to life forms. He can discuss any species in incredible detail, and is the leading authority on concepts with the power of flight. I hope that answers your question. Was there anything else? Most likely. How long was Meteon? Do you know of Meteon's abilities? It's no secret that she is a highly unusual familiar. Of late, the Chief often makes his rounds with her, like a mother hen raising her chick. I understand that she is able to read emotions and communicate directly with one's mind. Exactly how she was created with that talent, however, is a mystery to me. My apologies. I wish I could explain her nature in more depth, but I have not had occasion to discuss it with Chief Hermes. Do you wish you knew him better? Has she got a crush? The Chief may not be the most gregarious individual, but he engages with us as is necessary for everyone to perform their duties. I wouldn't want to intrude upon his privacy for the sake of curiosity. Though if you wish to learn more about the Meteon, I could try speaking with Timaeus, another expert of the creation of flying concepts. He should be conducting his observations on the banks of the stream, somewhere to the east. Oh, and unless you take a particular joy in rambling discourse, I suggest you keep your questions concise. We shall keep that in mind. Thank you for your patience and your insight. Think nothing of it. If there is aught else you need during your stay, please do not hesitate to ask. Come, Lullaby, I think we've taken enough of Ismina's time. Our investigation is off to a fine start, wouldn't you agree? From here, I propose we split up. I shall continue making inquiries with the resident observers. If you could track down the colleague Ismena mentioned. Given how you steered that previous conversation, 'tis plain you need no assistance from me. All I ask is that you watch your footing around the stream. We can meet back here once you have finished speaking with this Timaeus. How far away is this? Oh, not too far. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Up on that rock. I thought she said he was actually going to be in the street. Yes, but please keep your voice down. You'll startle the birds. Okay, the following event cannot be skipped. Okay. Why have they started doing this, like cutscenes that can't be skipped? So, what is it you wish to speak about? Is it true you're an expert on flying creations? A fellow enthusiast, are you? Well, settle in and we can discuss the finer points of this fascinating craft. Okay, I think that wasn't very precise, Lullaby. I think he's going to start waffling now. My deep and abiding love of avian artistry can be traced back to when I was a young boy, stricken by the transcendent beauty of a glorious golden-feathered creature my father had designed. It was then and there that I vowed to one day surpass that masterpiece. Yeah, big mistake, Lullaby. Big mistake. Half an hour later. And thus did I secure an observer's role here in Elpis, and at last realise my childhood ambition. Here the dreams I once dreamed are an everyday reality, in which I find fulfilment through the research and creation of new flying life forms. An abridged recounting of events, as was doubtless to your disappointment. Is there any specific part you would like me to expound on? No, not at all. If that's the abridged version, I don't want to see the long version. You were hoping for my opinion on Chief Hermes' creations? And why didn't you say so? Yeah, that was really stupid of me, wasn't it? Those beings which soar through the clouds, majestic and graceful, are ever a favourite of creators. Even now, with so many varieties in existence, the flood of newly imagined concepts continues unabated. What sets the Chief's creations apart, however, is how they benefit from his boundless knowledge of the celestial realm. Birds that climb so high that they disappear from view, others which traverse the boundless sky in moments, and all without riding the currents. I know of none save he who can conceive of such marvels. Even we who prize elegance and of form above all else are dumbfounded by his genius. Yeah, let's ask about her. My opinion on that matter would be superficial at best. Despite my admiration for her as a concept, I have never delved too deeply into the inner workings of her nature. I know that she has a gift for communicating via emotions, but otherwise her abilities are a mystery to me. If Chief Hermes should choose to submit Meteion's concept to the Bureau of the Architect, then will the design be registered for public scrutiny? Analysing a colleague's creation before that step is frowned upon, to say the least. Of course, if he came to me, a fellow artisan, looking for advice, that would be an entirely different story. Yeah, let's ask about Dynamis. Dynamis? And then I don't know how to pronounce that. Those terms do sound vaguely familiar. Was there not a flower made here in Elpis which exhibited properties of one or the other? It must have been centuries since I last heard anyone speak of such things. Has there been a resurgence of interest? How old are these guys? If they're already centuries old here way back in the past, that's just craziness. Then why bring up the subject? I'm flattered that you sought my insight, but I cannot afford to neglect my duties for the sake of idle chatter. Could have fooled me. Now I really must return to my observations. Surely you have your own tasks to attend to. Get up there. Oh, wrong way. Oh, good timing. I finished my own investigations not long ago. So have you any new findings to share? I see. Even an expert in the field had little understanding of Meteion's capabilities, let alone an awareness of Dynamis. My questions resulted in much the same answers. Hermes' colleagues view Meteion as his personal project, and can provide no details beyond those which you just told me. Which leads me to believe the only person with any significant knowledge of Dynamis is Hermes himself. Yes, we've made some progress here, but more information is needed. At present, the strongest link we have here to the final days is the power of Dynamis. And the intelligence which can control it. Yet most scholars are only vaguely aware of these terms, let alone study them in any depth, except for Hermes, it seems. Thus I am inclined to stay our current course and learn all we can about the Chief Overseer and his familiar. And on that subject, was there aught else of note you can tell me about Meteion, aside from her unorthodox method of communication? Oh yes, that's interesting. There are more like her. She has sisters, and they've all been sent all over the world, all over the stars? I don't know. I rather wish you had mentioned that earlier. In any event, would you care to elaborate? We don't know any more than that. So these siblings of hers now travel the great expanse in search of deeper meaning? Thank you. Though the mystery at hand remains unresolved, I feel you've touched upon a vital clue, one we should keep in mind as we continue. Next, I propose we take ourselves to Peripatia Crystalline, not far from here. Just follow the path to the west. This tower and the one further along are both part of Peripatia Crystalline, a facility where they archive all of Elpis's observational and testing records. Despite how they appear from the outside, this interior is actually a vast area of magically interconnected spaces. I shall cut my architectural lesson short and see what those two archivists have to share. Right, are we going in here? Nope, we're not going in there at all. You have questions for me? Certainly, just a moment while I conclude my current appointment. Indeed, so if you could provide a comprehensive log of those behaviours, we should then have sufficient data for our official records. Now, what was it you wished to speak to me about? Chief Overseer's personal research project, and by that I assume you mean Meteon. Such undocumented studies are difficult to track. After all, hardly a day goes past without seeing a researcher trailed by one creation or another. I'm afraid I cannot tell you exactly when Meteon appeared, only that she now spends much of her time at Chief Hermes' side. Although I do recall an interesting tale my dearest Galen shared with me. Galen is my partner and a fellow researcher here in Elpis. She was returning late one night when she caught sight of Chief Hermes, sending Meteon heavensward a host of them. For several days she would speak of that scene with wonder, describing it as one of the most beautiful spectacles she'd ever witnessed. That sounds like a story I should like to hear. Mistress Vanat, I thought you had already returned to the service. Permit me to thank you again for your invaluable contribution to our concept placement proposal. Pray do not mention it. As you say, my original plan was to leave after that task, but I have since become engrossed with Chief Hermes' research. Would you favour me with a retelling of this sight with which so delighted your Galen? Of course, or you could hear it from her lips directly if you prefer. At present she should be observing a subject in Metabasos, Thalassae. She does enjoy her time there, watching the sea creatures hunt and play, gazing upon the salty waters of the world's oceans, recreated in such sublime detail. I imagine you must find similar joy in indulging your boundless curiosity, Mistress Vanat. Even though such pursuits must continually and regretfully delay your return to the star. Indeed they do. 'Tis a rest well deserved and long overdue, I should think. How greatly have we prospered with the wisdom you accumulated during your travels as Azem. And what would Elpis be without your earlier academic work? The theories you developed served as the basis of many techniques we still use today. Man is a creature of contemplation, but none embody the nature with as much enduring passion as you. I dare say there is not a soul alive more worthy of a return. I shall rejoice the day you depart on your final journey. I will be honoured. Well, shall we take this opportunity to meet with Galen in person? Then allow me to reconfigure the door to the archives here. It will take you up to the skyway and spare you the need to avoid hostile concepts on the ground. That would be most helpful, thank you. I've opened the path to the skyway. Once you pass through the door, simply walk straight to the next tower and ask for admittance to the upper tier. Okay, let's do that. Thank you. Mistress Fanat, just passing through? Then allow me to prepare the path. I'm glad we can use mounts here, this place is huge. Mistress Fanat, I was not told to expect. We would have prepared an official welcome. Please, there is no need for a fanfare. I only wish to speak with Galen, if that might be arranged. Yes, Galen, of course. I will inform her immediately. Ah, but she may be engaged in a testing phase. You could be in for something of a wait. Should I let her know your business is urgent? That won't be necessary. This lovely view will keep us occupied until she is ready to receive us.
A delightful breeze and a breathtaking view. What is it like in the future? Is the world still a beautiful place? I swear I could hear the glimmer in your eyes and the adoration in your voice. While we wait, will you not tell me about your adventures? Well, not the portentous events which led you here, but the simple delights all your own. By learning about the future world, I may gain insight into future me's plans. But more than that, I have an interest simply as a fellow traveller. Short of going somewhere oneself, there's naught more stirring than hearing another's account. Incredible! Would that I could have been there to see it. Yours is a harsh and unforgiving world. Yet in spite of this, your brethren hold fast to their virtue. To know that the light of mankind's potential still shines, even in that faraway place, it gives me heart. Thank you for regaling me with your tales. I will treasure every word. As you know, I was once a scholar. And among other things, I sought to understand the workings of the world. What exactly is ether? How formed the laws of nature? Whence sprung mankind? Riddles and mysteries beyond counting. Over the years, I have managed to find answers to some few of them. Yet rather than attain a sense of mastery, the more I understood, the more I came to hold the world and its miracles in awe. We too are miracles, each and every one of us, born of the warm breath of life that traverses the heavens, swirling through eternity. When I fully grasped the improbability of our existence, nothing felt impossible anymore. If it could be imagined, it could be done. A passion swelled within me, an epiphany dispelling all preconceptions of what was natural and true, and a presence without. Immense, yet intimate. Fate, perhaps, holding us in its tender embrace. As reassuring as it was intimidating, how keenly aware I became of creation's fragility, built as it is upon precarious happenstance. I was overcome with an irrepressible urge to know the world more intimately, to hear its voice, feel its breath. I ventured forth on a journey that very day, so very long ago now. Freed from presumption and prejudice, I saw the world through a newborn's eyes. Everything fresh and new, and so beautiful. Lands that stretched on forever. Skies one could drown in. The heartbeat of nature, silent yet strong. And amidst it all a people. Beacons of light and life. Laughter that warmed my heart like naught else before. They are my meaning, and my purpose, my love. And so long as they need help, I cannot return to the star. Perhaps my future self is still waiting for it. The moment she can let go and walk unto the end. Safe in the knowledge that man will find his own way. You, who are our future, tell me this, and tell me true. Has your journey been good? Has it been worthwhile?
Pray forgive my lateness. My observation subject was rather irritable, and it took a while to settle it down.
No need to apologize. Your work takes precedence. Besides, we had a pleasant conversation in the meantime.
You're too kind. Now then, I'm told you wished to ask me some questions.
Indeed. I've an interest in one of Hermes' creations. Meteon. You witnessed a host of them take flight, yes?
Oh, that! Yes, I did. 'Twas in the dark of the morn. I'd left the Thalassai after nocturnal observation. As I walked along, I spied a bright light climbing high into the southeastern skies. Then, in an instant, it was gone, like a shooting star, only rising rather than falling. But then another shot up, then another, and another. Intrigued, I made my way to the edge to investigate. And who should I spy on an isle to the south but Hermes and Meteon, the Metea, rather. There were lots of them, and I realized they must be the shooting stars that I'd seen.
A dazzling spectacle indeed. Have you spoken with Hermes about this?
Oh, yes. The sight left such an impression on me that I approached him about his mystery project the very next day. Alas, he said that he couldn't reveal anything just yet, that he needed to conduct further tests. It shouldn't be long now, though. He often returns to that isle, and I have a feeling he's nearing a breakthrough.
Splendid. We are likewise eager for the details. Well, that is all we wish to ask. Thank you for taking the time to indulge our curiosity.
You're very welcome. It's always a pleasure to speak with other inquisitive souls. Oh, and will you be descending now? If so, I shall link the doors for you.
Please.
So we still don't know much more about them, aside from the fact they shot up into the sky. So another piece of the puzzle falls into place. From what we've learned thus far, I think we can safely conclude that Hermes hasn't been revealing the details of his research to others, which suggests that either someone will appropriate his discoveries and make use of them, or that Hermes himself will have a hand in causing the final days. What? How did you get that from? Since we have no reason yet to suspect the former, we should consider the latter the more likely possibility. Proceeding under that assumption, our next step should be to divine why, or even if, he might desire such terrible fate for our star. Interesting. Right, but I think I'm going to take a break for a bit, get something to eat, and if I'm not back later, I might be back tomorrow. So thanks everyone for stopping by, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye now.